Good evening, and thank you for stepping into the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your Foul Player. I wanted to make a New York Giant video regarding, I think, people's undue confidence in what Joe Judge may or may not be as a Giants head coach. As many of you know, Joe Judge was hired. He was a special teams. Some say he assisted with the wide receivers in New England. A lot of people have talked about what Joe Judge is looking for. Moving forward, like with the players that he's signing or looking to sign or draft. And that's a little bit concerning to me. I mean, not that we need to know, or I need to know, but I mean, like, there hasn't been much said by him personally, like, in the public of yet. Seemingly doesn't seem like a rah-rah guy. And a lot of these expatriate coaches scare me. I mean, and I just thought about this now. Like, I'll go into the draft aspect because the draft is my thing and it's coming around the corner. If you think about it, well, one, a lot of the Patriots coaches from the Patriot tree haven't had NFL success. Most of them haven't. I mean, and if you think about it, Bill O'Brien is probably one of the best ones, and Bill O'Brien is, to me, a moron. Bill O'Brien, for some reason, the Houston Texans gave him control of the GM position, and that was a big-time mistake. A lot of people were lauding the Bill O'Brien trade for the wide receiver yesterday. I thought that was, like, I mean, like, people were saying that how good of a deal that was. That wasn't a good deal at all. Like, that wide receiver's been kicked around, like, different teams. You don't know what his attitude is. I'm pretty sure he has some foresight into what Woods, I think his name is, but from his time with the Patriots. But a lot of teams like traded for him, and then they've given him the boot. So I mean, like, good for the Texans for being stupid enough to give him a second round. I would have tried to juice him for more. But and it's not just the GM capabilities, but and I'm mentioning that too because they say that Joe Judge will have some control. From what they're saying, that he may have most of the control for the draft. I don't believe that to be true, but just putting it out there. I mean, he's gonna have a big say, I feel, in who we draft and who we don't draft. Not to say that oh wow, it's a big accident. Not to say that I'm a big Gettleman fan, because I'm not. But one thing that I will say about Gettleman is that in the late rounds or middle rounds, he's been pretty good as far as his draft picks go. But and what scares me in our situation, just in terms of drafting, is that Bill Belichick is not, to me, a good drafter, and nobody in the Patriot tree or coaching tree is a good draft. Like, I mean, I don't know, like, what their level of input is in their situations. Like Patricia and O'Brien, right now, off the top of my head, I mean, like, I'm not sure what their input is. And those are the two coaches that I know, like, that are disciples of Belichick that are in the league now. I don't know, but their past drafts, to me, like, I mean, they stunk. Their past free agency period stunk too. But another concerning thing is the ire that both Patricia and Bill O'Brien have gotten from their players. I mean, like, you look at Matt Patricia, his whole issues with the cornerback Slay, and you don't get a lot of players that come out and on public record in interviews, like say what happened, like to that extent, like as far as saying that the guy was talking really bad about him, like they have with Patricia, and like you have other players now that's saying that Patricia's one of the worst people that Matt Patricia's one of the worst people that they ever met. They never play for like somebody like Matt Patricia. You have that going on openly. These aren't retired guys either. Then with the Bill O'Brien situation with DeAndre Hopkins, supposedly he was bringing up DeAndre Hopkins' many babies' mothers or mother of his children, and he has been with different women and had children with different women. And you know, it's not that. See, if somebody were in that situation at my job, and I brought it up, it's no big deal. Who the hell am I? Like, and whoever I'm talking to is probably in the same position that I am, and you know, not this really fickle athletes like that we have today. And I'm saying, like, I mean, there's good, like that's for better or worse. A lot of athletes, you know, they don't want to be put out in public or called out in any circumstance. In fact, they want to be coddled, and whether you like that or not, you know, you don't have many athletes that come out in the public and say, well, this coach did X, Y, and Z to me, like DeAndre Hopkins just did about Bill O'Brien. To where ultimately Bill O'Brien trades away DeAndre Hopkins, has to trade for a small possession receiver or a slot receiver to replace him when they already have Will Fuller, and you have that another guy who's another small receiver. But you trade away Hopkins, who's a bigger target, more over the top. Like, don't understand it. But and I bring these guys up because Joe Judge is from that same coaching tree of Bill Belichick. We have a GM that may have one foot out the door based on his performance this year. You have a coach in Joe Judge that has been allotted a amount of power by the New York Giants. If the season goes awry, I mean, I fully expect the Giants' powers that be, the higher ups, to make Gettleman fall on the sword, and for us to try to retain our young coach, regardless of the outcome. And again, I'm not a big Dave Gettleman guy, but the whole Joe Judge thing is concerning me. I mean, Joe Judge may turn out to be a fantastic coach and, more power. But it just scares me, like, that a special teams coach in New England, or coming from the Bill Belichick tree, has been given so much confidence by the Giants brass and the New York Giants fan. A lot of people, are making it seem like they know, like, Joe Judge's plan. Like, Joe Judge, at his highest level on paper, was a special teams coach. And Bill O'Brien actually followed a lot of the same path. Bill O'Brien was a special teams coach. And, no, he was an offensive assistant, a special teams coach, a wide receivers coach, same as Joe Judge, depending on who you ask. And ended up becoming an offensive coordinator. Joe Judge hasn't become a coordinator of yet. And he was given the keys to this franchise. So let me know what you guys think. I hope we have a good year, and I hope a lot of these concerns that I have are all for naught. I hope we get a football season that's played this year in general. But let me know what you guys think, and as always, thank you for